Come on up, everyone that was in the armed forces.
Remember all them.
They're going to come forward. We also, as they're coming forward, we want to remember some others. Anthony Montgomery is in the U.S. Navy, serving in Carolina's Navy? No? Virginia. So we remember Anthony. And Jeffrey Schilling is in the U.S. Navy as well. And I found out this week that he's an anti-submarine warfare analyst, which I did not know before. Very interesting. He works in the reserves mostly, but very interesting. Also this week, we were invited to Corey Rawson School to remember Dean Schilling. Dean was the only one from Corey Rawson School that they knew of that was killed in Vietnam. And so they had a special honoring ceremony and a plaque and different things. And he was from this church, so he was the only one from this church who was killed in Vietnam. So we remember Dean today as well. And Harriet, his mom, and all the family. But now we want to honor these gentlemen. Well, at least these men. These are great, great people. And I'm just going to get out of the way, and you can say whatever it is you want. This is your time. Well, not you. You can't say everything you... No, I'm looking at you. He could say too much. There you go. Say your name, and if you know your number, but just where you served and when.
Well, really, that number was on a dog tag, I think. You wore it around her neck. In case you got shot, they'd know who you was. And I was in the Navy. I was drafted. And the reason I was in the Navy, they were taking about every third one if they had good eyesight. And there was a man wanted to trade places. So I said, no, I'm going to stay here because I don't believe I want to go to the Army. So I got to go to the Navy then. Went overseas. Went to different islands over there on the way. We zigzagged all the way over on account of avoiding Japanese subs. And but that took twice as long. So, but then we were there in case they wanted to invade Japan. And I was one of the boat crew. But they dropped that bomb and saved everybody.
Just thank you, good Lord, that I'm able to be here and live quite a few years.
I heard a saying on TV by a veteran. He said, it's nice to receive thanks. For us that volunteered, that's fine. For those that didn't volunteer, they really need the thanks.
Well, I'll try to tell a different story this year.
I was wondering what happened to that girl, you know. Oh, we lost our plug here. Did you get that? You did it.
Well, I don't know. I was joined the Army in 1952 when I was 16 years old. Basic training, I was sent to Korea 1952, 53, and 54. The war finally got over, and there was a lot of interesting things, but the main one I told Reverend Ben the other night, you want to hear this again?
They didn't hear it.
Duke McKittrick had the junkyard in town years ago on Crystal Avenue, and of course he's passed now, but out of 5 of us, there was only one that was 17, the rest of us was 16. So we got basic training, and of course the first thing the sergeants wanted to do is for us to admit we're underage so they could send us home. Well, we didn't, they wasn't tough enough, but, and it reminded me of Barb when she said my potatoes were so nice that I peeled. It reminded me of we got smart and we got on the potato detail. I mean, it is 48 hours. There's a spot here. Peel that, you know, and we peeled and we peeled. And where them potatoes ever went to, we don't know. They probably threw them out, but that was the highlight of the basic training. I made it.
He told me this, and I said, he said, I don't know what I did to deserve that. And I said, I don't know if it's what you did, it's who you did it to. There's the thing. Watch your feet there, John.
Yeah, I went into service in 65. I was in 65 through 68. I did basic in Fort Knox, Kentucky. Went to Aberdeen Proving Grounds for tank maintenance school. From there I went to Germany for 2 years. And then I had orders for Vietnam and got to Washington State, and I had 6 months left in service. So luckily they stopped me and sent me to Alaska for 6 months. And I was just up there from March till October, so I didn't have any cold weather there either, so I was quite lucky there. So it wasn't too bad.
Thank you, gentlemen. We have a little, just a token of our gratitude. We give thanks for you and for all that you have done and given, sacrificed time and part of your lives for our country. Many of you know a lot of folks who died in the war. I was watching a lot of specials this weekend on the war, the Battle of the Bulge. You were an observer, weren't you, for artillery? Partly? With the instruments and things. He was right after D-Day. Saw a lot. These men all witnessed a lot of things. And we just thank them. And I'd like to offer a prayer right now for them. Dear Lord, we do thank you for these men and for all the men and women who served and continue to serve in the armed forces of our country. We have the freedoms we do because they've sacrificed. And we can never thank them enough as individuals or as a country. And we just pray for them and lift them before you. And we just give them all the thanks that is in our hearts. Amen. Thank you, gentlemen, very much.